Hello, creative. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if it's your first time, welcome to the channel. I'm Nikki, and this is your cozy corner for wonderfully quirky, whimsical, storybook-esque tutorials for the whole family. For this video, we are going to be doing a super cute little owl in a stocking cap holding on to a star ornament or ornament of any shape. You're going to want a pencil, eraser, a couple Sharpies. If you have circular objects or stencils to trace, you may want those for the eyeballs and the ornament. All right. So first we are going to start with our paper up and down so that it's in portrait, taller than it is wide, and just about center, slightly above, we are going to start with our owl's face. Starting with the eyeballs and then its beak. So I'm going to try to draw a little smaller. I tend to draw very large, but that's okay too. So I'm going to start with 2 circles for the eyeballs, and I'm going to leave like 2 fingers between them to give them the distance for the beak. And those will be my outer biggest circles. Go a little smaller for the next ones. I love these multi-circle stencils because you can easily nest different circle sizes and not overly concentrate on them. I don't mind drawing a circle here and there, and I will hand draw these after the fact, but it gives you a good starting point. And add as many circles as you want to make your eyes. I like to have that darker area and then have like some color in the eyeball, and of course in the big outside for an owl, especially because owls are full of big eyes with their nocturnal vision. All right. Once you get those eyeballs in there, we are going to add a curve connecting them, creating that beak. Kind of like a rounded triangle or a candy corn. You can add little nostrils. And then we're going to start to build out his head and his hat. I start with the actual hat brim first, kind of coming up. Again, I like these to be kind of wonky and whimsical because I feel like that's how hats are. They are fluffy and fabric, cloud-like material. Put this a little like it's kind of coming down on his face. And have this coming out. Again, you can make this hat very long and come way down. If you want it to come further down, you're just going to bring this line all the way down to where you want that floof. And then bring this line down, getting narrower. A bit more of a stocking feel. And your circle. For the shape of the bird's face, it's almost like an upside down heart shape. So kind of here where the beak is the valley of the heart. And then it kind of curves down past it. Another shape that it reminds me of is like an Xbox controller. The bottom of it, and then where you're holding on to the controls. So anything like that to kind of create the face. All right. As far as gaming goes, what is your go-to system? Do you tend to play Switch? Do you like to play Minecraft on a computer, on your phone, Xbox? What is your go-to? All right, I'm going to add the branch across the bottom next. Just leave a little hole where I want the feet to be. And I like to do Y branches. Give them a little more interest when they're not just a straight line. For the little tail ends, we're just going to kind of do ovals that go right over the edge of the branch. And that's his little legs. And then whatever shape you want his ornament to be, you can add that in next. I did a star. My star stencils are way too big. I'll give him just a little star this time. You can round it or have it pointed. Totally up to you. And then he's holding on to a little piece of metal that kind of connects. It looks like a question mark and just goes right onto the top of the ornament. Our last step to make our owl whole is to add the body. So we're going to start by just creating a curve of the body. Now it looks very skinny. And then it gets even skinnier, but this is now his tail. And then we want to add his wings. If they continue, that's okay. If they stop under the branch, that's okay too. Every owl has like a different style of detail and wing length and all those different things. So this is where we really start to make this drawing our own. We're going to take our Sharpies and start to add even more details and outlines to make it exactly how you want it. I like to start with the eyes because when they are solid white like this, they get a little creepy. It is almost time to give myself a new Sharpie, which is one of my most favorite things. Like a fresh Sharpie is like an artist's dream. Color in the eyeballs first. I used to save all of my Sharpies, and I had a drawer that I called the Sharpie Graveyard. I was like too sad to throw them out, thinking they might work again. But of course they never did because they were completely dried up and used up. But when I finally threw them out, I think there were probably like 85 in there or something crazy like that. All right. Fresh Sharpie, heavenly. I love how firm the tip is. You get the new one, and then as you push on them, they get muddled down. But that's, again, part of the joy of using them. Owls used to be like one of my favorite things for a long time. I just loved their giant eyes and all the different expressions that they have. And so very quickly I ended up with like dozens of owls throughout my house because not only did I buy owls when they were cute and I saw them, but people started buying me owls and I had way too many owls. It became like the joke. Where's that? Oh, buy the owl. Yeah, right. Which one? Because there's like 5,000 of them. But I still love them. I just have not been purchasing quite so many, and I've been slowly dispersing my collection to others who love them. But you'll still find them around my house. It's funny that I'm doing these lives with all of these fun Christmas drawings to get myself in the Christmas mood. And here it is, December 19th. And I still don't have my Christmas tree up, you guys. What is wrong with me? I'll get them up at some point. It's been a crazy year with getting sick and then having Thanksgiving so late in the year just really threw off everything for me. Not to mention here in Michigan, we had snow for Halloween. Have we had snow for the week of Christmas or in December at all? No. Had a little bit in November, but none for December. Then the magic of this drawing is adding all those fun details. In my original, I did like a plaid kind of look and then snowflakes in the background, but you can do almost anything. If you wanted to do that kind of plaid look, I like to use a ruler. You don't have to, but you're going to start by creating, actually I use two different markers. I use the thick one first to create the first stripe. And I like to kind of use the thickness of my ruler to create the distance between my lines, just because then it keeps it very even. I don't have to think about it. I just know. And then to make it more of an X shape, we're going to create the diamonds. Okay. Now, for the ones going this direction, I added a second thicker line, and creating like a rectangle of sorts. Just make sure you're always going to the left or the right of the same line so that you don't end up with unequal distances between them. Could look a little wonky. And then going the other direction, I use my thinner Sharpie just to give it a different look. Maybe I'll do that one on the other side. Okay. Good. There might be like a little bit of this line because it's like the distance there. And then just to add more detail, I added some little tiny lines in between here. But you can kind of make it your own and add different pattern to it. It's a nice thing about creating is there's no right or wrong. You can create patterns out of things you see around you. Like just open your eyes and look around, and even the shape of like a nut and a bolt or a screw in something as simple as my camera can give me inspiration for little half circles or different shapes. Look at patterns on fabric, curtains, pillows, blankets. All those things are inspiration in your world that you can use and pull the parts that you like out of them into your drawings. I feel like, okay, it's cute. It's not as cute as the original because it's a much bigger square. So what if I took and I added Let's do the littler ones. Smaller. And just add some stars in here. Like, there's no rules. You just have to kind of imagine where the partial ones would be. Could there be anything showing? Maybe it's kind of going to the other side. And if you want to write something along the ornament, Joy is a nice one because it's little, it doesn't require a lot of room, and is semi-easy to write in a fancy cursive handwriting. Add different lines and details into the shape of your owl's fur, feathers. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling stripes today, so even if it's not really realistic, I love coloring like the original adult coloring books where there's lots of tiny little lines and details. It just like calms my brain and makes me happy. So sometimes I like to draw like that because then I get to color it. And I've had a lot of people ask me about why I draw on cardstock. The reason I started drawing on cardstock is because with as many classes as I teach and drawings that I do a week, I was filling up sketchbooks so quickly, and there was no way I would ever have enough time to color them all. So I draw my originals in a sketchbook, and then everything I do live or in class, I do on cardstock that I then end up scanning them in so that I can have them reprinted. But like I give them to the local teachers to use as coloring pages for the holidays. The ones I've already scanned in and drawn, I drop off at doctor's offices and they use them for coloring pages for kids who are waiting. So I pass them on so that other people can enjoy them too. My cousin's kids and my nieces will actually like trade them like artist coloring page or artist trading cards. And so they'll sit down and like, I'll give them a stack that I've done over the holidays and they'll like negotiate who gets which ones. And I'm like, well, I did scan them in so we can print more, but originals are what they want. You could very well just print them on cardstock to give them kind of the same feel. It makes it nice because you have a sturdy surface and it doesn't, nothing bleeds through. Like I don't have to worry about having stuff underneath. But I mean, if you do, that's okay too. Again, there's no right or wrong. I feel like she needs some little like rosy cheeks to give her more of a cuteness factor. And maybe, just maybe, she needs some fancy eyelashes. That's cuter. Now in the background, this time of year I do a lot of snowflakes, but I feel like she needs even more. So I'm going to do some stripes. Again, she's got a lot going on between her hat pattern and her wing pattern. So why not just keep making it over the top? Into how and who I am. I'm a lot. My drawings and art are a lot, and that's okay. It's okay to be a lot. Just be a lot of who you are. Now, to help make the branch more obvious what it is, I'm going to add these like little, almost like the shapes that you see on your fingerprints. You can tell I'm an artist, right? Colored in paint. Different zigzaggy little lines to show the wood grain. The perfection in this is the imperfection. So don't like try to make it perfect. Just look at your fingerprints, or even if you have something made out of wood, coasters or picture frames, something just to give it a little bit of texture so it looks like it is wood grain. Now, the stripes are kind of flat for me, so I'm going to go through and add an extra line next to them with the thinner Sharpie. It's these little details that you can use to take each drawing up a notch. Coco Chanel always used to say with jewelry, get yourself ready and then take off a piece. So I'm going to tell you, keep going, add another piece. And I get that line there. So with art, just add one more detail, one more element, one more line, one more oomph to make it step up. And that's especially true if you are doing watercolor. When you work on watercolor, I feel like you always just have to go one step further than you're like super comfortable doing. And that just takes it up even more. All right. That is our Christmas whimsical owl in a stocking hat. I hope you had so much fun with that. If you're looking for cute storybook-esque characters and, you know, cuteness overload, come back and see me for the next drawing. I'll be live again tomorrow. Bye, everyone.